Good day from Monrovia, Liberia. Welcome to Citizens Agenda. Citizens Agenda is a 30-minute package that seeks to improve citizens' access to information through community radio content syndication. It is a production of the Association of Liberia Community Radio ALICO. We are your presenters, Florence Flomo and
Edward Colley.
Coming up in this edition, to Women in Gbagbudu County March for Justice for Victims of Rape in Western Liberia. The administration of the Sestos High School in Riverside County shows of putting in place systems to boost the academic programs at the institution. Armyworm invasion affects farming activities in Bong and Nima counties. These plus a lot more are coming up in this edition of Citizens Agenda. Please stay tuned. We will be right back.
Welcome back to Citizens Agenda. Rape has often been described as a menace that affects social, physical, and mental well-being of its victims. There have been efforts to curb the rate of rape and other forms of sexual and gender-based violence in Liberia. Sadly, reports of rape keep emerging from various parts of the country. Recently, women in Gbagbudu County staged a march to say enough is enough to call for the prosecution of perpetrators of rape. As Henry Bolma reports, the women's action was prompted by the rape of a minor in the county.
The alleged rape of a 2-year-old girl in Gbagbudu County has sparked a one-day protest with many people demanding justice for the minor and raising questions over why the safety of women and children in the country continues to be threatened despite having one of the toughest rape laws in the world. The chairlady of the Bone Manigo Chiefdom, Widow Pabai, and other women of Gbagbudu City organized this displays of public anger against rape in Gbagbudu City. And now it is Joseph Flomo, a 22-year-old school teacher who has allegedly raped a 2-year-old girl. This issue of sexual and gender-based violence, particularly rape in Liberia, has reportedly been on the increase despite thousands of Liberians protesting against the crime in 2020. Rape has been a long-standing concern, and a United Nations report in 2016 recorded 803 rape cases and found only 2% of sexual violence cases led to conviction. The height of rape has in fact crossed the red line in Gbagbudu County, according to one of the protesters, Siakia.
Our lawmakers, we calling all our honorable people, the office of the superintendent, our mouthpiece of the county, to hear the crowd of the women of Gbagbudu. They have a bomb. One bomb will now a UN from operation will take place. So we the women of Gbagbudu. Today, we are in tears. And if the nation reaches the excellency, God we are.
The alleged perpetrator, Joseph Flomo, who was arrested and charged with rape in violation of 14.70 of the revised penal code of Liberia, is now in jail awaiting his days in court. Responding to the women's concerns on Monday at the MI office in Gbagbudu City, this is what the Assistant Fiscal Affairs Superintendent of Gbagbudu, Mr. Anthony Yoko, said.
We'll make sure we'll follow it up so that individual can have a speedy trial, and whether he'll be vindicated or whether he'll be brought down guilty, even though you're requesting that we tell the name those people that will be involved into it. We found plenty of documents plenty of documents that we must about law, we not the law in our hand.
It can recall that in 2020, as a result of the anti-rape protests in Monrovia, President George Weah declared rape a national emergency. Other new measures to tackle the issue, but this has not stopped its increase even here in Barbados County. Meanwhile, as a result of lifting protesters and stakeholders' voices on the sexual and gender-based violence, particularly the alleged rape of a 2-year-old girl in Barbados County, this news of lending support to a veteran of gender-based violence in Barbados County has shaped our gender lens in covering and reporting on human rights and gender-related issues in this part of the country. My name is Herman Boruma Jr. reporting.
From Bapolu County, we now move to the southeastern county of Riverses, where the authorities of the Main Public High School have assured efforts to improve the learning environment at the institution. Cestos High School gained national attention when its 12 graders topped last year's West Africa Senior Secondary Certificate examinations. The principal of Cestos High School, Ben Giele, has been speaking with our contributor, Alberto Dixon.
When it comes to the academic performance, especially when it comes to the national or the international test-wise, through my administration, we've been doing extremely well. 2019, 2020, we came up with 85% passage. 2020, 2021, we came out with 85% passage from the country. Then, last year, which is 2021, 2022, we took the lead in the entire country for our students passing at least one of the subjects that brought Riverses on the map. These are some of our achievements since we took to get to this place. It was not by power, but by true collective efforts that make us to get such victories and we took over.
I've seen your facility, but we like to talk about a bit some challenges that your building is faced with for now.
When it comes to the facility, before coming to the challenge, we want to bless God, especially the Ministry of Education through the ARAS grants. We were able to receive the grant of $30,000 as you can see the campus, and we try our way to beautify the campus. But for right now, some challenge right now that we face in the school, big as this school, there's nothing in the auditorium. 2, we have the building for the sound lab, but no equipment. And through the ARAS grant, we were able to purchase some books prescribed by WACS that in the library. Right after here, you can go see for yourselves. And this is the ratio of the male to female. For 2022-2023 school year, we have 163 male from 7th grade straight to 12th grade. That's the summary aspect of that. Then the female is 145, which is highly competitive.
The principal of the Cestos High School, Ben Giele, speaking with our contributor, Alberto Dixon.
Farmers in many communities in Nimba County are reportedly unable to carry out cultivation of their crops due to army-war invasion. It is not the first time that such situation has occurred in a part of Liberia. As Jerome C. reports, the pets are moving at a very high speed this time around.
It is in the morning. I am in Boapieta Yapiman Administrative District in Nema County. Many of the farmers, including residents of the area, are unable to go to their farms. Their farms are being invaded by caterpillars. The warrants, about 3 inches long, are seen eating the leaves of plantains, edos, and cash crops like cocoa trees. Patrick Siegbala, the youth chair of Boapia Town, says the caterpillars are seriously embarrassing the residents and farmers of the area. Mr. Bala indicated that the warrants are eating their food crops in gardens and farms. Patrick Bala noted that the caterpillars are also contaminating water sources in the area.
The caterpillar is very, very embarrassing all in this town. I came from Monrovia Monday. I arrived here. When I came, I saw the caterpillar disturbing all the time. Initially, they play while we bathing, and they will have bathing area for the men to our water side. When you go there now, you don't even have area to bathe. When the caterpillar tells you, your skin can be eating you. So all around the town. Now, only area alone. When you go on the side to it there. When you go, the place where you're looking for to the water side, the place where the woman then can be drawing water for to take bath, it there. Any leaf that it test, it eat it. We have our banana in town here. Our planting, you see the one, so you can eat the leaf. And then one like, hey, we can live out because when you have your children going to school, you call it, you send it to them. But now they think eating the leaf, passing around in the town. If you say you go to my brother area, in the fence, we can go there. You see it, sir. In his fence, where he made a garden behind a house, it tell all over they may not get chance to reach there, sir.
Since the caterpillar situation started in this town, have you been able to talk to your BB people? And what have they said, especially the agriculture people?
We don't have agriculture men in the town, but we have a tractor man that in town here that he is a son in the community that he take care of all the time. So we give him a report that he has been calling in the head office. They supposed to send people to him this morning, and he is waiting for the people to arrive to see the caterpillar, what is doing.
Okay. People are not here to see the caterpillars, but they are hearing you. How can you describe, the situation on the caterpillar to them so that they can know that it is serious?
Now, the only thing I have to say is I don't have picture, but since February you with Anthony C. Boapier, here you can take the picture, you send it to them because now, to me, I don't have a big phone to take the picture and send it to them. But you see, you said you see in the caterpillar how it's looking. I can tell them for them to listen to me. I tell them thank you, but I want their help to help my community.
Another resident of the area, Mr. Julius Gibson, says there is an urgent need for the intervention of the Ministry of Agriculture and partners to contain the spread of the armyworms.
Everything in the capital is just giving hard time to it. And we are very sad that we live in the community, it's just giving us hard time.
How harmful is this caterpillar?
The caterpillar, when even say, and when it drop on you, where it drop on you, your body can be, can be itching you the whole of that day.
When it started?
It started on Monday.
Since Monday, what has been your call to the agriculture sector?
Well, for me, I'm the CHA, I call my CHSS to give the report to her. Yeah, we have many children and women among them now. 15, they are above 15, 20, like that. We are asking the government of Liberia to come help us in the community.
Locally, the residents of the town are using fire, gasoline, fuel oil, and local materials to battle the spread of the harmful pest.
For us, some people, they can, when they come from on the farm, when they see their horses, when they caterpillar, when they over there, some people they can go and look for fire somewhere, to come burn the caterpillar from their house. That's what they're doing here.
Finally, what can you say to us?
Finally, what I was supposed to tell you people, is that, for me, I'm telling the government of Liberia to come on our illness to help us, to help us in the community. So they can kill the caterpillar for us in the community.
The invasion of the pest is also reported in many communities in Nema County, including Saige, Makento, and Zolepura. Reporting for Aliko Citizens Agenda from Nema County, I am Jerome C.
Our contributor from Nema County, Jerome C.
Well, it seems that the situation with the armyworm invasion is not just unique to Nema County. Neighboring Bond County is also reported to be having its fair share of the pest invasion. As you will hear in this interview, farmers in the county are alarming over the situation. Farmers in Bond County, they're alarming over the situation.
I'm Ojugu Oti Morwa from Shangmara. During heading time,
heading enter here for this thing. I'm a warm business. People came to help us. Send that about this can't around. We are affected. How come what we plant on the farm, the thing wasting the USA, you see some. So affecting all our rest that we planting, eating it.
When you go on the farm, I mean, does it affect you when you go on the farm? Maybe your row?
The thing can put a net, get a sparrow. You can walk in the bush. You had to call row, another row from the main row where you can walk with. At the next day again, when you go, you will see it there. Ready, I'm ready one for the government to help. I'm feeding bad, so bad because if no food, my children will not go to school because that thing will believe in on the side. Plan to sell for our children to go to school.
How long has it been?
Almost a month and a half now. I'm telling the government to please come in and help us. They bring some sprays there to spray the bush so that thing then went off.
But is it also coming in the town?
Yes, some of them we can walk in the town, say around the town you can see some of them. I think you are walking on the road, you see some.
Very hard, plenty. Yeah, you come in the town, we can't go on farm and feed it. Feeding partner, but we're not going on farm. We're not going on farm, we will not eat. Then the government help us.
You're not happy there? When you're happy there, what report they went by?
They just bring some chemical there.
What you want for the government to bring?
They must bring the same chemical. That is not good. We're not made fun of.
They got to pass smoke. I'm the one at the time here. They are one. It disappear plenty. I'm working for it. Heading can help all. But where we are now, we want to open the help all. Nah, you carry it away from all the way. Heading carry away from us.
So what are you doing to your?
You go on the farm. We embarrass all the night. You can bring on the roof. If we go on the farm, we got the colors from stage with the leaf. So doing it in the bush. On our farm, we got to make we flare. Doing it before we got on the farm.
Even your crops, I mean that people scratching now.
People scratching.
People got corn and other stuff.
People got corn.
Yeah, it's affect.
It can affect. You eat the corn leaf. After eating leaf, then the corn die by itself.
So government can what do you have?
The government can. No, that's something will be in the broil. More present in Shanghai here. We just suffer because of hunger. You plant your crops, somebody destroy you eat. The water part, as a farmer, we not get a pond from here to kill in the bush. The bush water, when you do it, I now want to drink, but we force it to drink it.
Money is extra quality from now. The caterpillar really giving you a hard time. Yesterday, the caterpillar break cool in our town. It's very embarrassing because no way for us to look for food, no way for us to go on farm.
Why not do it? Not block your farm road?
Yes.
So, I mean, it also in the water, maybe your...
Yeah, in the water. It on the road, no way for us to go on farm. I want for people to come help us in the town.
Like the first time for that thing to happen to your there?
It happened there first. They both spray the caterpillar.
So what you want to tell the baby people there?
I'll tell the people, I want for them to help us. They can't spray the caterpillar.
So when they not can, what will happen now?
We will die in the town.
So what are the authorities doing about this situation? Colina is the agriculture coordinator of Bong County. The agriculture coordinator of Bong County, Colina.
Yes, we have outbreak of caterpillars in Bong County. Currently, as I speak to you, around 7 districts have been infested with caterpillars that are stopping farmers from going to their various farms. In fact, as I speak to you, they are now moving towards some of the towns and villages. So, like I said, the issue of the name of the classification of the caterpillar has to be left with the experts. Like I said, so we brought some entomologists from the Ministry of Agriculture who were here on Saturdays and Sundays. They were able to go to some of the hotspots areas, and then they did some assessment. They collected some of the samples, and so they are currently in Monrovia. According to information, they were able to meet with some of the national stakeholders, and so there are some preparation on the way to ensure that they come back to the county so that together we can holistically respond to the issue of the caterpillar outbreak.
In terms of harm to the crops, what have you seen so far? Some of the farmers are saying that it will bring step back to them in terms of the farming activity.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, the caterpillar will feed on the crops, and moreover, you know, they will even prevent the farmers from even going on their farms. So you know, with all of these situations, definitely it will result to some damage to the crops. So all of these are very important, and as agriculturists, as a person who is head of the Ministry of Agriculture in the county, it has claimed our attention. And I speak to you right now, our district agriculture officers are across the district. They are moving from farm to farm, trying to institute some other integrated pest management strategies other than just the use of chemical, so as to be able to calm down the situation as we await mandate from the central office to be able to respond. Just want to encourage them to let them know that we from the Ministry of Agriculture haven't forgotten about them. As I speak to you right after this program, I am on my way to Panther District. We want our farmers to understand that we are concerned about them. Their livelihood development is our concern, and so we are doing everything humanly possible. Yesterday I had a meeting with some of the agriculture sector stakeholders in the county, and I told them yesterday that we have this emergency situation, and so all of us work together to be able to make sure that we calm down this situation, because if we don't do, definitely it's going to affect our farmers. Their livelihood is farming, and so if we have all of this time and they will not go on their farm, the caterpillar destroy their crops, meaning that we ourselves our objectives will not be met, because our objective is to increase productivity. So if we want to increase productivity, pest control should be one of our major concerns. So we are very restless. Like I said, I am moving with some panels, and some other people will be going to Panther District to see some of those areas, and to be able to also give them some information on some other different integrated pest management approaches that they can be able to use while we await mandate from the central office.
If you are just joining us, you're listening to Citizens Agenda. Citizens Agenda is a 30-minute package that seeks to improve citizens' access to information through community radio content syndication. It is a production of the Association of Liberia Community Radio Aliko. Stay tuned. We will be back with more developments.
Welcome back to Citizens Agenda. A violent storm recently derailed the Jakpata Public School in Sanuye District in Bon County. This has resulted in the classes being left exposed to rainfall and blistering heat. As a result, students at the institution have been making a clearing call for aid to rehabilitate the only learning facility for students in Jakpata and surrounding communities. Here is the school student council president, Blessing Lee Tall, followed by the principal of the institution, John Bokolo, explaining to Citizens Agenda.
I ask you for help. Yeah, please help us because we are dying slowly. Since Friday, I hear about that. I feel sorry about myself. I say, oh, I'll talk you all in the office, in the refill, on the I'll talk you will be texture. So I ask you to please help us to face our building. We need zinc, planes, nails, and in the library. Every building have not been built. Our future will be damaged. We will not learn anything.
My name is Johnny M. Bokolo. I'm the acting principal of the Jakpata Public School. Early Friday morning, recent time we got prepared to come on campus, but there was a heavy pool of rain in the evening time on a Thursday. After the rain, we realized that to come on campus, we just came, we saw this school campus was miserable, like how the roof the last time. Very exciting to us.
How many students in total do you have here going to school?
Right here, we have roughly 210 students that are here. This is elementary school, begin from the ABC to the 6th grade. For this condition, I'm telling you that it is downhearted right now in the kind of situation. Nothing we can do but call on government, others, humanitarian organizations to come onto our aid, because in the kind of situation where school is being running, we have gone as far as the 6th period and the exam, a kind of situation with the people, children, we don't even know where to manage them now.
The voices of Jakpata School Principal, Mr. John Bokolo, and Blessing Lee Tall, the Student Council President of the institution.
The lack of educational materials is said to be undermining the education of students at the only government-run school in Fishtown, River County. Among the many educational materials lacking at the Toy Jekyll High School is up-to-date textbooks. The lack of textbooks, according to the administration, is a contributing factor leading to the massive failure of students in national exams. Citizens Agenda Isaiah Yimpa has been in conversation with the administration at the institution and has this report.
The lack of this material has brought total embarrassment to the learning facility of the institution in River County. Many students have failed the public test due to the lack of practical material in Toy Jekyll High School, mostly from the science department.
Are you seeing students to be in a serious mood of learning?
Indeed, yes.
Let's look at the issue of the laboratory, lab areas in terms of practicals.
That is a very big challenge for our school. You may be aware that we have just something like a reading room, which is not a fixed up-to-date library. At least to talk about laboratory. We don't have a laboratory. But we don't have a laboratory.
The students of the institution complain about practical material that causing many failure during WASP period.
Really, for the WASP, we are really facing difficulties if it comes to the practical aspect of the test, because we don't have laboratory to go and carry on experiment and other things. So we are really facing difficulties in the test, but for the theory, we are trying our best.
My name is Isaiah K. Yimpan, reporting for Citizen Agenda, River County.
Our contributor from River County, Isaiah Yimpan.
At this stage, we will join Marco Toh for a review of the local data.
The African Development Bank is reporting that Liberia, which is one of the world's least polluting countries, is in dire need of funding to fight climate change, as the country faces a staggering $460 million funding gap. The revelation from the bank, which is one of the country's major lenders, comes as express one that Liberia is highly vulnerable to the adverse effects of climate change. The issue of the climate change funding gap is a problem that is not only unique to Liberia, but many African countries. According to reports, Africa needs between US 50 to US 100 billion annually to adapt to the effects of climate change, but faces a critical shortfall in accessing funding, as the case with Liberia, which is highly vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. The impact of climate change is already worsening the country's flood-related disasters, and the frequencies of extreme weather events is projected to increase in the coming decades. The Secretary General for the Civil Society Human Rights Advocacy Platform of Liberia, Adamant Dempster, recently met with U.S. Ambassador for War Crimes, Beth Van Schaik, and U.S. State Department staff, members of Congress, and senior Democrat and Republican congressional staffers to present a resolution from civil society, the human rights community, and victims calling for the establishment of a war and economic crime squad in Liberia. The resolution, which was endorsed by civil society organizations, justice campaigners, war victims and survivors, and the human rights community of Liberia, highlights sections 46 of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission TRC Act, which considers civil society organizations as moral guarantors of the Comprehensive Peace Agreement CPA, with the responsibility to monitor and campaign for the scrupulous implementation of all recommendations contained in the report. In response to the resolution, Ambassador Van Schaik said it was great to meet again with Adamant Dempster and discuss civil society's collective resolution demanding justice for Liberia. According to her, impunity for war crimes continues to affect all of Liberian society, and this time with victims as they seek accountability. And the Director General of the National Fishery and Aquaculture Authority, NAFA, has completed the tour of 4 coastal counties, including Riverside, Sando, Grand Cru, and Maryland, assuring fishermen and fishmongers a government's continued support to the fisheries sector. The head of the National Fisheries and Aquaculture Authority, Madam Emma Glasgow, and team during the 14-day excursion to fishing communities across the 4 coastal counties, held discussions with county authorities, and the fishermen now formed into cooperatives and fishmongers. Some of the fishing communities visited in the southeast of Liberia were Fishtown, Harper, Kavala, Middletown, and Ragtown fish communities, all in Maryland County. Grand Cess and Sasstown fishing communities in Grand Crew County, Crew and Fanti fishing communities in Sano County, and Crew and Fanti fishing communities in Cecil City, Riverside County. The purpose of the tour was, among other things, to hold discussion with the established fisheries cooperatives on the uses of the free Yamaha outboard engines they earlier received from the government through NAMFA, to clear issues surrounding lands acquired for the construction or landing sites, as well as hold discussions with the various fishmongers on NAFA's plan to provide loans through its partners for the enhancement of their activities.
Michael Toll with a review of the local dailies.
Well, that's it for this edition of Citizens Agenda, a program that seeks to improve citizens' access to information through community radio content syndication. It's brought to you by the Association Liberia Community Radio in partnership with Internews and funding from the Swedish International Development Agency. Join us next time for a brand new edition. On behalf of the entire production team at the National Information Dissemination Center, we are Edward Colley and
Florence Flomo, wishing you a very good day.